what's good, Studio Sports fans? We here for the night before the Super Bowl. We're here. We're talking about it. It's taken forever, but it's finally here. Tomorrow, 6:30, Chiefs versus Eagles. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. What are we expecting to see? Mr. Quinn, I got a question for you. Brandon Graham is coming back. He's playing
Yeah.
tomorrow. In 11 games, he's brought us 20 total tackles, 15 solo, 3.5 sacks, and one forced fumble. What can we maybe see from him tomorrow?
Yeah, I honestly am not expecting much. I mean, he just came off the injury report today, I believe. Or I mean, he was cleared to play today. And honestly, our young guys have been eating in the playoffs so far. So I wouldn't put him on the field because there's just a chance it could be a liability with him. He's not fresh. He's been out with injury, so I mean, I wouldn't expect to see him all that much. I think it's more of a thing like he's probably retiring, so you kind of just want him there, like get him a few reps on the field just so he's like kind of for the sentimental value of he's been an Eagle for his whole career and now he's leaving. If he is ready to go, then I wouldn't mind him taking snaps from Huff or guys like that, but I think I wouldn't expect to see him a ton.
So you don't think he's going to come out there and try to make an impact in this game at all?
I think if he was in, he'd do his best, but I just think how much he'll be in is the biggest thing to
You
me.
think it'll be more like big downs, late in the game, big down
Yeah,
kind of drives?
yeah, he wouldn't be in there. I mean, we know he's clutch with the strip sack on Brady
Mm.
2017. Obviously, none of the D line got home in the last Super Bowl, but there were some field conditions that were
Yeah, y'all
out of
complain an
their
awful
control.
lot about those field conditions. Y'all
I
complain an
mean, we
awful
gotta make
lot about it. I'm
excuses.
seeing it every day now. Y'all
Gotta make
complain an
some
awful lot.
excuses.
But no, we got an interesting game. It's been talked about since, the championship games were decided. And the biggest question right now, outside of the actual Super Bowl itself, is who's winning MVP. We've got Mahomes who's taking it back to back, right? We've got Saquon Barkley in his first year with the Eagles, 2,000 yards and 13 touchdowns, and his first ever Super Bowl. So,
Um,
what are
uh,
we looking? What are we expecting? That's the question.
I mean, I think it'll be an Eagle, obviously, because I think the Eagles are winning. If I was to say if the Chiefs do win, I just think the easy answer is Mahomes to win again. Um,
He is
However,
right
I
now the
think
leading at plus 120 to lead. Saquon Barkley plus 260. Jalen Hurts plus 350.
yeah. So I mean, if Chiefs win, I think it'll just be Mahomes again. But I'm gonna go with I think it's gonna be Hurts. The Chiefs' run defense is you know one of the best in the league, and I think what the game plan is to just run it down your throat with Saquon. So why not sell out in the run? And then, like I mentioned it in another video, how much man coverage the Chiefs run, sixth most in the league, and AJ Brown, who just absolutely dominates in man coverage. I think you could have a game where it's more pass heavy than run. And then any play where it's down to the one, that's an automatic Jalen Hurts touchdown.
Push.
Unfortunately, yeah,
Unfortunately, Barkley could have had so many more if they just used him in the red zone more.
yeah, might have won MVP if they didn't run a tush push,
If
but.
he if he probably had about 18 to 20 touchdowns and 2,000 yards by the time the regular season ended, yeah, MVP definitely,
Yeah, I'm
definitely
not
an
gonna
MVP.
complain though. I'm a big tush push fan. Works about 94% of the time, so I'm never gonna be mad.
So I actually had a viewer ask me earlier today, or not really ask me, but kind of mentioned something, and he doesn't think the Eagles are going to use Saquon Barkley as much as they have throughout the regular season with the Chiefs' stout run defense, like you talked about. So, are we going to make Jalen Hurts try to beat the Chiefs? Or is that just what Andy Reid and his coaching staff's game plan is? Is just to let Jalen Hurts throw more than he's ever thrown before?
Yeah, I think if you're the Chiefs, I mean, why not? I mean, I think they're gonna try to stop Saquon. Whether it's gonna work or not is another story because every team's tried to stop Saquon and it hasn't worked so far. So, I mean, if you're the Chiefs, I would be trying to I'd be selling out in the run, stopping Saquon. But at the end of the day, that plan just might not work. The Rams tried to stop Saquon. They send the blitz. He always just gets outside. He had two 70-plus yard touchdowns or 60-plus yard touchdowns, something like that. So I mean, you could try and stop him. The Chiefs do have a good run defense. I won't say anything against that. It's definitely one of the top in the league. But I would try and make Jalen Hurts throw. Is that the best idea? I don't know. Jalen Hurts' best game of his career was in the Super Bowl last time against the Chiefs. He threw the ball incredibly well in that game with ease, really.
But you gotta think he didn't have Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Back in
I
that
mean,
game,
he factors into this game with his ability to be so he just gets open. I mean, that's
yeah,
just how it is. He's over there spamming buttons on a controller, doing random things, and he's open with the run game. Big shout out to the offensive line, though. Y'all built that offensive line
yeah,
heavily. And you know, pass catching. I think he's evolved in pass catching since leaving New York. Now, Derrick
yeah,
Henry, his hands are hopeless.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just Saquon. Really, I mean, all it takes is one play. You could stop him 10 times in a row, and then the next play, going for a 70-yard touchdown. Everything you just did was for nothing. I mean, Commanders game, the second game of the season, really they were doing a good job at stopping him, especially in the second half. But he still ended with over 100 yards because he had that 170-yard touchdown run. I mean, if Hurts doesn't get hurt, we win that game, and it's a completely different story. But you know, I mean, all it takes to get him going is one run, and then once he gets going, he just always builds off that. So I wouldn't let him get going early if I was the Chiefs, just because I feel like the game will easily fall out of your hands, especially with how the Eagles manage the clock. These like 7-minute drives, these like I think it was go back to the Steelers game. I believe the Steelers only got 2 possessions in the second half total. A complete dominance of clock management. So you can't get the run let the Eagles start running early and getting Saquon going.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it from us here at Studio Sports tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go follow our guy right here. We got Quinion Clamps on Twitter. I don't know where he went, but Lakers Crash Out on Twitter. Shout yourself out. I forgot what it is, Quay.
At Laker
Palinkus
Crash Out
Burner.
on Twitter.
And then
Damn, I
we've got our
like
main
him.
man YBH down here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Y'all like, subscribe, share it out. Let people know we're going to be back live Sunday night probably or Monday, early Monday morning after the Super Bowl. So you guys tune in for that. We'll see you guys next time.